Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about the C major scale. I just want to say thank you for checking out my channel, and please like and subscribe, and we will be getting into more videos for your entertainment and enjoyment. So again, today we're going to be talking about the C major scale and its relative minor. So I'm going to show you how to play the scale. I'm going to tell you about the notes that are in the scale, and we're going to describe how we can use these kind of notes for melodies, improvisation, and things that are going to benefit when you're playing in a band situation, or just kind of creating some melodies and solos on your own. So let's get into it. So again, I'm going to show you how to play a C major scale, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's called its relative minor. Every major scale has a relative minor, and every minor scale has what's called a relative major. And today we're going to be talking about C major, so it's basically as if you're playing all the white keys on the piano. So there's no sharps or flats in the key of C major, and its relative minor is A minor. So let me demonstrate how to play a C major scale. So what you're going to do is you're going to start on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and you're going to go 3rd fret 5th string, then you're going to go to the 4th string open, then you're going to go 2nd fret on that 4th string, 3rd fret on that 4th string, then you're going to go to the next string open, and then you're going to go 2nd fret on that 3rd string. So that's a 3rd string open, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, then you're going to go to the 2nd string open, 1st fret on the 2nd string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 1st string open, 1st fret on the 1st string, 3rd fret on the 1st string with your 3rd finger. So the fingerings are just as important, because when you're playing the scale, you want to kind of, for muscle memory, play it fluently. And if you keep switching to different fingers, then it's not going to be smooth. So make sure that you stay with playing the same fingers going up and down. So again, 3rd fret on the 1st string, then we're going to shift our whole hand up to the 5th fret, play the 5th fret of the 1st string with our 1st finger, 7th fret of the 1st string with our 3rd finger, and then 8th fret of the 1st string with our pinky. Okay, so again, 5th string 3rd fret, 4th string open, 2nd fret 4th string, 3rd fret 4th string, 3rd string open, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 2nd string open, 1st fret with our 1st finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 1st string open, 1st fret of the 1st string with our 1st finger, 3rd fret of the 1st string with our 3rd finger, and then you're going to shift your whole hand up to the 5th fret with your 1st finger, 3rd finger on the 7th fret 1st string, and then pinky on the 8th fret. Okay, so the C major scale. And of course, when you're comfortable with doing it forwards, you always want to do it backwards. Okay. So whenever I'm with my students, I'm a big stickler for scales, because scales are the foundation of all music. And when you're learning scales, you can definitely get into theory and all other great doors that can be opened through learning scales. Okay, so the second aspect of learning the physical part of playing that C major scale is learning the notes. So let's go through the notes. So when we start that 3rd fret of the 5th string, of course it's going to be a C, because we're playing a C major scale. So it's just basically like again, the white keys on the piano. So C on the 5th string, and then you go to the 4th string open, which is your D, 2nd fret of the E, 3rd fret of that 4th string is the F, 3rd string open is your G, 2nd fret of that 3rd string is an A, 2nd string open is a B, 1st finger on the C, 3rd finger on the D, so that's 2nd string. Then the 1st string open is your E, 1st finger on the F, 3rd finger on the G, and then you shift up to the A, which is on the 1st string 5th fret, 3rd finger on the B, which is 7th fret, and then pinky on the C. Okay, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So if you notice, we actually go through that scale 2 octaves. So this is what's called a diatonic scale. So diatonic scales have 7 notes, and then of course the other scales that we play on guitar is called the pentatonic scales, which we're going to kind of get into a little bit. So the C major scale is based off of what's called a 7-note scale, which is a diatonic scale. Now, so that's the C scale. Now, the 3 main principal chords that are in the key of C major is what's called the 1, 4, 5. So that's the 3 chords. So when you're songwriting, or say someone's playing in a band and they say, hey, we're going to be in the key of C major, you're pretty much 99.9% going to be playing those 3 chords. So the 3 chords that are in C major are there's 7 chords that are actually in C major, but the 3 principal chords is a 1, 4, 5, and the 3 principal chords is C major, F major, and G major. Okay, and why do you find that? Because each note of the scale, so we have 7 notes, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you go up to that B string open, and then you're just starting that scale over again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So the 7 notes in the scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So there's a chord built off each one of those notes in the scale. Now again, the 3 principal chords that are in that scale, or in that key, in the key of C major, is the 1, 4, 5, which is the C chord, F chord, and G chord. Now the way to find those is in any key. So of course we're in the key of C major, so that's going to be your 1 chord automatically. Now you just go up 4 notes in your scale, so C, D, E, and then F. And you can also count on your fingers, C, D, E, F, and F is your 4th note, right? So that's going to be your 4 chord, okay? And then of course G is your 5 chord, just the next note after the 4th note, okay? So that's the 1, 4, 5. So that's the main principal 4 chords in the key, or 3 chords in the key of C major. Now that's, and if you just put a strumming pattern to that, then you have a song, right? So say you did just a steady 8 strum on each chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, F, 4, 5, 6, there's G, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, F, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G, C. And that's how people write songs, is they're based around that 1, 4, 5 progression, right? And of course you can have melodies and just playing that same scale, but trying to target some of the notes that are in the chords. Now, every major scale or every major key has what's called this relative minor, and that always starts on the 6th scale degree of every major scale, or the 6th note of the scale. So if you go up 6 notes in the C major, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's going to be your A. So A minor is C major's relative minor, okay? So to play an A minor scale, I'm going to show you how to play that A minor scale 2 octaves. And so you probably, you wouldn't really necessarily start on that. You'd probably start on the open 5th string to play a proper 2 octave A minor scale. So I'm going to show you this A minor scale. So a regular standard diatonic A minor scales, you start with the 5th string open, then you go to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then you go to the 4th string open, 2nd fret of the 4th string, 3rd fret of the 4th string, then the 3rd string open, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, the 2nd string open, 1st fret of the 2nd string, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 1st string open, 1st fret of the 1st string, 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then up to the 5th fret, which you finish your scale off. Okay, so an A minor standard diatonic scale. Okay, so all the same notes in C major, but you're just starting and ending on an A. So again, it's just like the notes on the alphabet, or again, the notes on the piano if you're just starting and ending on A. So it's A, open, B on the 2nd fret, C on the 3rd fret, 4th string opens your D, 2nd fret on the D is your E, third fret is your F, third string open is your G, second fret of the third string is an A, second string open is B, first fret of the B string is a C, third fret is a D, first string open is an E, first fret of the first string is an F, third fret is your G, and then fifth fret of that first string is your A. Okay, so, and again. Now the same principle applies to a major scale, a minor scale, just as it does to a major scale, as if, you know, you got your 1, 4, 5. So of course we're in the key of A minor, so the one chord's going to be A minor, so that's going to be your 1 chord. And then if you go up 4 notes in the A minor scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have a D, so that's going to be your 4 chord. Now in minor, all the chords are actually minor chords. So you got D minor, that's your 4 chord. And then in your 5 chord, of course, the next letter in the alphabet or in the scale is E, so that's going to be E minor. So A minor is your 1 chord in A minor. The 4 chord is D minor, and then the 5 chord is E minor. So again, if you put a strumming pattern to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. And again, that's how people write songs. So again, and you know, when you're doing improvisation, you just want to kind of use that same A minor scale. And then just target the notes that are in the chord. So yeah, that's kind of how, those are the 2 types of scales. That C major, you got your 7 notes, that's your diatonic scale, and the relative minor is your A minor, which that has the 7 notes too. And then each of these 2 different keys basically has a 1, 4, 5 progression. Now, I always like to give examples of songs that are kind of using this type of chord progression or a key. So I like the song "Let It Be" that's by the Beatles, that are in the key of C major. So the main 3 principal chords is your 1, 4, 5, going back to C major, which is C. Your 4 chord is F. Your 5 chord is G, and they actually throw the 6 chord in there as well. So the main verse. Chorus is, or sorry, the verse riff is C major down, G, A minor, and then your 4 chord, and then it goes C, 1, 5, G, 4, F, and then back to your C chord. So that song, you know, obviously the Beatles are one of the greatest songwriters ever known to mankind, one of the most popular bands on the planet. So they knew about this 1, 4, 5 stuff, and they based all their songs around that, because that's songwriting formula, basically songwriting 101. Thank you all for checking out my video, and I hope you got something from that, and I'm definitely going to keep making more, so please like and subscribe to this channel, as it will enable me to do more videos for your enjoyment and education. And I have released a book that is now on Amazon, and it's called Blues Guitar in Your Hands. So you can now find this book on Amazon, and there's 2 different sizes, and I suggest get the 8.5 by 11. So, and I have a couple books there, so go check it out if you get a chance. Blues Guitar in Your Hands, up on Amazon, and it would be much appreciated for your support. Thanks. Have a great day. Cheers.